BeCozi.net is here. BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is an American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarn for hand knitting. So today I will be using our chunky Chenille yarn in ash, this is our new color, white, and cloud gray. So three beautiful neutral colors, and I will be showing you how to make a crisscross stitch. Look at this gorgeous blanket. I showed how to make crisscross stitch a few years ago, but the video showing how to make it with plush Chenille yarn. We do not carry that yarn anymore. So today I'm showing this pattern again, and today I'm showing it in three different colors. The original video was for just one straight color. So again, ash, white, and cloud gray. And here you can see that this side doesn't have the border. This side has the border. So in the video, I will show you how to add the border if you want to make one. So beautiful, very thick. This pattern is very dense, so you will need actually 6.5 or even 7 skeins for the small size 30 by 50. So read the instructions underneath the video. I will put information how many skeins, how many stitches to start, because this pattern is very different from other patterns. This is size 30 by 50, and I started with 29 stitches. Usual 30 by 50, it's only 20 stitches. So again, all this information is underneath the video. If you have our yarn ready, let's get started. Okay guys, so we are starting with our ash color, and we will be starting making a chain of 29 stitches. And to make a chain, place the yarn in front of you. This is the tail, this is working yarn. Working yarn goes on the top like that. You just made the first or you just made the loop to use to make a first stitch. Insert your hand, grab working yarn and pull it out. Now we will pull the stitch up and we will pull these two pieces of yarn down. So just made the first stitch. You can see that it's pretty big, needs to be smaller. So pull working yarn down and that's what we have, small stitch, okay? So we are now, as I said, making 29 stitches. And to make the second stitch, I will insert my fingers, grab working yarn and pull it out. So this is second stitch. I will press the bottom of it and I will insert my fingers, grab working yarn and pull it out. So that's what we will be doing. We will be making a chain of 29 stitches. Make sure to make stitches small for this pattern on the bottom. I usually tell people to make stitches a little bit bigger on the bottom, because then the tension will be right when you start knitting the whole pattern. In this pattern, if you make stitches wider or bigger on the bottom, it will be like a skirt. It will be very wide like that on the bottom. I will actually show you on the pre-made blanket. So here we are. Let's see. Here is the blanket I made originally. See what's happening on the bottom? It looks like a skirt. And the reason is because like usual, I made stitches on the bottom a little bit bigger, and they need to be smaller for this blanket, because then it will be very dense stitching, knitting. So that's the reason they should be very, very small. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. And as I mentioned, for this blanket, you will need much more yarn, and you will need, it will be very dense and very heavy blanket because of that. And of course you will need more stitches. So the blanket 30 by 50, the width is 30, but you are making 29 stitches. So let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the number of stitches should be uneven. So that's why we have 29. What are we doing now? We are turning it on another side, flipping the chain, and now we start pulling out our first row. For pulling out our first row, so we will be knitting our first stitch. Okay, guys, so we are starting pulling out our first row. So this is our first stitch, and I'm going from underneath, then I'm grabbing working yarn and pulling it out. So this is our first stitch. Now we will be using this middle part of the stitch, not the top, not the bottom. And the reason I'm doing it because this beautiful chain will be on the bottom when we're doing it this way, okay? So here we made first stitch. Now we need to find this middle part of the next stitch. I'm kind of lifting it with my finger. And then I am grabbing working yarn and I'm pulling it out. So we have 2 stitches now. So now I will be making stitches this way, pulling out first row. See all these middle parts of the stitch. And again, try to make them on a smaller size. Then when you start knitting, you can actually knit a little bit looser, because if you are the person who like to make stitches very tight, then your measurements will be smaller than mine, and you will need to use even more yarn. Okay, guys, so we pulled out our first row, and you see that it's made pretty tight. So what are we doing now? We are starting our pattern, crisscross. So the working yarn goes here, it's on the back, and we are taking these first stitches and we are crisscrossing them, okay? So this goes on the top of this one. So second stitch is always on the bottom, remember it. Crisscross, and then knit second, knit first. So remember this saying, crisscross, knit second, knit first. And second is always on the bottom. So we are knitting our second, now we're knitting our first. So we just made our first crisscross. Next one, the same way, crisscross, knit the second, knit the first. And second is always on the bottom, okay? So crisscross, on second on the bottom, knit the second, knit the first. So that's what we will be doing. See these little crisscrosses? We will be doing the same way all the way to the end of the row. And as I mentioned, now you can actually make them a little bit on the looser side, not as tight. And then it will be easier to knit, you will use less yarn, and the pattern will still be looking really nice. So as I mentioned, make sure the number of stitches is not even, because we will have that one extra stitch that will be our working stitch, because you see that every crisscross has has 2 stitches, and on the next row we will need that one extra stitch that we made, because we had 29 stitches. So we're almost there, guys. So here we're making our last crisscross, And now this is our extra stitch, because every crisscross has 2 stitches. This one is extra, it's 29 stitch. Now you are simply knitting it. Okay, so now when we will start our second row, we will be using this as a part of the pattern. How we're doing it? The same way, crisscross only in this direction, and second stitch is always on the bottom. See, crisscross, knit the second, knit the first, crisscross, knit the second, knit the first, and that will be our pattern. So when we are done with pulling out our first row, then we're starting our pattern, and in that row that we just finished, we have one extra stitch that is not crisscrossed, and that's what we used here to start. So let's get to the end of the row. Here we are, guys. We have almost reached the end of this row. We are knitting these 2 crisscross stitches, second first, and then the first. See this extra stitch? Now we have one extra stitch on this side. We are knitting it as simple knitting stitch. Okay, guys, so we are done with our ash color, and now we will be adding our white, as in a blanket I showed you at the beginning. So I will be connecting it by burning. So here I am burning the yarn that I'm connecting. You don't really need to burn both, you just need to burn one. And then you're attaching it, and you're waiting for a few seconds until it's not as hot. And then you start rubbing it together. Rub, rub, rub. And here it is, it's connected. So what we're doing now, we're doing the same pattern as we did before. We are crisscrossing first 2 stitches, and we're knitting second, we're knitting first. Crisscross, knitting second, knitting first, crisscross, knitting second, knitting first, and second is always on the bottom. So I will be knitting white to the end of the row, and then I will be knitting it back, and after I'm done with white, 2 rows of white, I will add my cloud gray color. And here you have some flexibility. You can add any colors. I'm showing this blanket made with 3 colors. That's why we will be cutting and connecting yarn. If you want a yarn, if you want not to have connection, you can just use 2 colors, and then you don't need to connect it. I will show you how at the end of this row. So here's the last extra stitch over here, knit, and then we are starting the same pattern on this side. We're crisscrossing only now in this direction. Knit second on the bottom, knit first, crisscross, knit the second, knit the first, and keep doing it to the end of the row. Okay, guys, here we are. This is our last stitch. Make sure to make a knitted stitch, and now we will be connecting our cloud color. Here is our cloud color. So at this point, as I said, if you want to use two colors, you don't need to cut the yarn. You can just connect, you can just pull it kind of through two rows to the next color. So let me show you. I will not be connecting this cloud. White will be sitting here. We will use it when we are back, okay? So here, crisscross, knit the second, knit the first, and then keep knitting the same pattern with the cloud gray this way and then back. And I will knit it and I will come back and I will show you what to do next. Okay, guys, so I will show you how to go from one color to another if you are using only two colors. If you're using two colors, you don't need to cut and connect yarn all the time. You are simply going, see, we had white here, we have cloud here, and for my pattern, I'm using white after each gray color. So what you're doing, you are going with the previous yarn underneath the one that you are using now. And then see, this yarn was just sitting here, and now you're simply going to start knitting the pattern. So here we are knitting the second, knitting the first, knitting the second, knitting the first. And then when you are back with your white and your second color is gray, you will simply do the same. You will pull this yarn behind white and you will start knitting it. The same if you are knitting just one row. You can knit just one row and make it stripes thinner. So you're just pulling the yarn and start knitting without cutting and connecting. See? That's how it's done. So, but my pattern I created is for 3 colors. I like this combination of dark gray, light gray, and white. So that's what I will be doing. And because I have 3 colors, I will need to cut and connect like I show you at the beginning after every 2 rows. It's kind of pain in the neck, but then it will give us this beautiful 3-colored pattern. Okay, so I will keep knitting. As you see, the width of the blanket is 30 inches. 30 inches. And I started with 29 stitches, which for the regular pattern would, like simple knitting pattern, would be 50 inches wide. That's why I said that this pattern is very greedy. It eats a lot of yarn, but it's very beautiful. And for the blankets 30 by 50, you will need 2 skeins of darker gray, 2 skeins of lighter gray, and 2.5 skeins of the white, probably even 3 because I'm using it more than the other one. So it will take you 7 skeins comparing to 5 for the regular pattern. So I will keep knitting this beautiful pattern and then I will come back and I will show you how to finish it. Okay, guys, we are back. Look at this beautiful blanket. See this combination, ash, white, and cloud gray looks really beautiful. So now we need to finish it. And because it's very dense stitching, you don't need to do it in a regular way because we want it to be nice and even on the top, not like a skirt leg, like I showed you. If you casting on too wide, the same way we shouldn't cast on the regular way because it will be too wavy. So what we will do, we will simply go with the one stitch inside the other to finish this blanket, because we have too many stitches here. See how wavy it is? So this is our first stitch, this is second. Take the second stitch and go inside the first. Next stitch the same, second stitch goes inside the first. And this way knit the top of the blanket until you knit all your stitches, and that will give you a beautiful top of the blanket, even and not wavy. The same as the bottom, if you followed my recommendation to make the cast on chain tighter. So here we are, we're just stitching. See this nice beautiful chain on the top? Here we are with the top of the blanket, and here's the last stitch, and we just finished. So this is our yarn. Cut, burn the end to prevent unraveling. Tail goes inside the last stitch, pull. Now I will go underneath the chain back and forth to weave in the tail, and then this tail can be burned and connected to any stitch to prevent unraveling, like that. You will not feel any burned part because it's attached to other stitch. So here is the blanket, here is the bottom of the blanket. The same way, guys, we're going underneath this chain back and forth, and then you can either tuck it in on the back, or you can do the same. You can burn the end and attach it to any stitch to kind of hide it, like that. See? So the blanket side in this pattern is kind of rough, a little bit. See, it's not really nice looking. So I actually would recommend to place a little border for this kind of blanket or pattern, and I would use the same color that we have on the end, ash. So how to do it? You're simply making a little stitch or loop, inserting it in the last stitch like that, and then you making another stitch, and then the same way I showed you, you finish the blanket, left one goes inside the right. Okay, and this way you're going through the same through the whole side, and this way this pattern will look really nice and finished. Okay, so here we are. So keep going this way until the end of the blanket, and this is optional, guys. You don't need to do it because it definitely will require more yarn, but I think it because this pattern is not really nice looking on the side, it kind of gives this finished touch. Okay, so here we are, we're almost there. And another way to have a nice border for this pattern, guys, when you I will put information underneath the video how many stitches you need for different sizes of this blanket, and when you cast on the amount of stitches you need, add 2 more stitches. So like we just had 29 stitches for this pattern, you can start with 31 and then knit the first and the last stitch and simply make a pattern in the middle. Then it will give you a beautiful chain over here. Okay, so extra stitch on this side and extra stitch on another side will be knitted through the pattern, and that will give you a beautiful chain. Or just make a chain like that when you're done, like I just did. So this is the tail, goes inside the last stitch. Here we are, nice and beautiful. Go on the back, tuck it in between any stitches, or burn it to any stitch you want. That it's up to you. Here you go. So here, the side of the blanket, the same on this other side. Just tuck it in, weave it in. So here's the side where I added the border, and this is the side without the border. So if you like it this way, it looks good too. Anyway, this yarn is available at BeCozi.net. Stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce you my second book. The second book, Hand Knitting 102, it was published on November 25, 2025, and it's available to purchase on our website BeCozi.net, BeCozi.com. It's also available on Amazon. It's also available on Amazon as a downloadable version if you want, a Kindle, and if you want the real book, it's available again on our website and on Amazon. In this book, I am showing new patterns and a few old one patterns. It's as usual, it's very detailed, it's very easy to understand what I'm doing, very unique patterns where you can, those that you cannot find anywhere else. And again, this book is available. Go get it. And this is the best gift for yourself or your loved one.